What's going on? Welcome to the video. My name is Chris Feekins and I am a type 2 diabetic specialist. My area of expertise is helping people with type 2 diabetes lose weight, regain control of their blood sugars, lower the A1C and get off meds for life. What I coach is a lifestyle change, not a diet. How you can still eat all your favorite foods in moderation, how you can still eat normal foods, how you can still go out with your partner for food, how you can still have takeout every now and then. And this is important, not just so that you can do these things and so that you can enjoy this process, so that it is sustainable long term. Because if it's going to take you 6, 12, 18 months for you to reach your goal weight and put your diabetes into remission, then are you going to be able to stick to a conventional diet for 6, 12, 18 months? Probably not. The issue with conventional diets are they're incredibly restrictive. You can't eat this, you can't eat that, and chances are this and that are your favorite foods. So if you remove those from your diet entirely, you create an incredibly unsustainable approach. And that is the issue with why you've struggled with this up until now. Whenever you try and lose weight, whenever you try and regain control of your blood sugars, what you are doing is too difficult. You do it for 2 weeks, you do it for 2 months, and then you crash and burn. You go back to you go back to old ways because it's too difficult. Not only is sustainability important in the process, but also long after. So if I give you a diet to follow, keto, paleo, any of those diets, first case scenario is that you don't stick to it long enough to see any kind of life-changing results, okay? Best case scenario is that you stick to it for 12, 18 months. You reach your goal weight, you get off meds, you don't need the diet anymore. How do you eat now? How do you eat now? You haven't learned anything in the process. All you've done is follow this set of rules within the diet to lose the weight. You don't need the diet anymore because you've reached your goal. How do you eat now? What did you learn in the process? This is why 83% of people that lose weight at diet clubs, Slimming World, Weight Watchers, regain it all back within 5 years. That is a real statistic. And the reason for that is because in the process, just like any diet, they didn't learn anything about how to maintain that weight. 70% of people who win money through the lottery lose it all. 70% of people who win money through lottery lose it all. And that is because if you give someone money who's never had it before, and they haven't learned anything about how to invest that money, how to manage that money, then they end up spending it all. If you follow a diet to lose the weight, you've reached your goal weight. If you didn't learn anything about how to sustainably keep that weight off, mindset, habits, etc., then all you're going to do is revert back to where you were previously. Now, what I want to touch on, I want to get into the meat of the content of this video, and that is how to reverse your type 2 diabetes. Now, we've got a few things that we need to touch on. There are 3 main contributors to putting your diabetes into remission, and the first one is weight loss. Diabetes UK found that 86% of people who lost 32 pounds or more were able to put their diabetes into remission. Now, to the majority of healthcare professionals, diabetes remission means an A1C below 5.6 without the need of any medication. So that's what 86% of these people were able to achieve through losing 32 pounds or more. So there is we know that there is an incredibly strong and proven correlation between weight loss and increase in insulin sensitivity, because that is what essentially type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. Okay, now weight loss has been proven to decrease insulin resistance and increase insulin sensitivity. Now, how do you lose weight? Weight loss is incredibly simple. It's not easy, but the principle is incredibly simple. To lose weight, you must consume less calories than what your body expends. You must be in a negative energy balance or a calorie deficit. You must consume less calories than what your body expends. This is called the law of thermodynamics. There's no way to cheat this. There's no way to shortcut this. There's no way to go around this. It doesn't matter what dieting approach you follow. It doesn't matter whether you follow keto, Weight Watchers, paleo. It doesn't matter. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you will not lose weight on that approach. The aim of any dieting approach is to get you in a calorie deficit. So that's the first thing that you need to achieve, is a calorie deficit. You can do that through any means whatsoever. Like I said earlier, what I coach is a lifestyle change. Now, the ladies that are inside my coaching programs, I get them to track their intake. Okay, it takes them 5 to 10 minutes each day. At the end of the day, they know exactly how many calories they've consumed. They know exactly how many carbs they consume. They know everything. They can assess whether that day was a good day, what to change the next day, and they can make an allowance for eating that takeout, for going out with their husband at dinner by eating fewer calories, fewer carbs earlier on in the day. It takes no longer than 5 to 10 minutes. And if you accurately track your intake and end within your calorie range, then you know you have made progress. Nice and simple. The first contributor to reversing your type 2 diabetes is weight loss. The second one is a carb-controlled diet. Now, you can go ahead and lose 50, even 100 pounds. If your carb intake is sky high, is too high, then you are going to see underwhelming results with your blood sugars and your A1C, because your A1C is quite literally an average of your blood sugar. They are the same thing. So if your blood sugar comes down, so does your A1C. They are exactly the same thing. However, if your carb intake is still too high, your blood sugars are still going to be too high, even with that reduction in insulin resistance. So that is the second contributor to reversing your type 2 diabetes, is a carb-controlled diet. Many of the ladies I coach, we follow 90 to 110 grams of carbs per day. Now, some of you might think that's too high. If you ate 50 grams of carbs per day, yes, your blood sugars would be lower. 100%, definitely. However, what does that mean for you in the future? 50 grams of carbs a day, I'll be honest with you, miserable. You can't eat normal foods. You've got to be far too restrictive. Can you eat 50 grams of carbs per day for the next 6, 12, 18 months? No. 99% of you cannot. Yes, your blood sugars are going to be better than someone else week to week, but that other lady, that other man, the other person who is consuming 90 to 110 grams of carbs per day, their blood sugars are higher on a week-to-week basis. But guess what? They can stick to it for 6, 12, 18 months until they are at their goal weight and off meds. Sustainability is key. This is not a race. Carb controlled diet, 90 to 110 grams of carbs per day. The second contributor. Okay. Moving on to the third, consistent and regular movement. Now, it doesn't matter what it is. There is no best exercise for fat loss. There is no best exercise for reversing your type 2 diabetes. The best exercise is the one that you do. End of. Just because one type of exercise burns 100 more calories than this type of exercise, that is insignificant. 100 calories in the world of fat loss is absolutely nothing. So do not force yourself to do a type of exercise you dislike because you're burning more calories. Exercise without dietary changes is insignificant for fat loss. You can go to the gym every single day. You can hit 10,000 steps every single day. If you're eating too many calories, you're not going to lose weight. Look at exercise as a few things. Exercise has tons and tons of benefits, okay? Increase in bone density, okay? Mood, okay? Endorphins release. You feel great after exercise. Mood is heightened. Mindset is massively improved. You've also got preserving muscle mass. I could go on and list 20 benefits of exercise, but instead of focusing on a specific exercise, focus on exercise that you can do consistently. Focus on exercise that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy any exercise, then focus on exercise that you can tolerate and that you can do long term. Something that you've probably seen me speak about repeatedly over this video is sustainability. And that is key. That is why I coach a lifestyle change and not a diet. So that you can stick to it long enough to see results and to get and to achieve that goal. And so that you can maintain it with everything you've learned in the process. Because maintaining your body weight should be a lot easier than losing the body weight. Maintaining your body weight, maintaining your A1C should be considerably easier than losing weight and lowering your A1C. You shouldn't get to your goal weight and then plummet back up. If that happens, the approach you used to achieve that weight loss and to achieve those blood sugar reductions wasn't successful for you. Those 83% of people that lose weight at diet clubs, Weight Watchers, Slimming World, that regain it all back within 5 years, would you say that's successful? Absolutely not. Just to summarize this video, how to reverse your type 2 diabetes. Weight loss, aka a calorie deficit. Maybe start tracking that intake a few days per week so you can get an idea of what you're currently eating. That's what I would recommend you do. Number 2, a carb controlled diet. Not a zero carb diet, not 30, 40 grams of carbs per day, because probably not even 99% of the population can stick to something that restrictive. I know I can't, and I know most of the ladies I coach cannot. Set yourself a goal of 90 to 110 grams of carbs per day. And last but not least, consistent and regular movement. It doesn't matter what, but do it. And of course, if you're making a goal of hitting a step target, do not go from 4K to 10K. Okay, if you're currently getting in 4K steps right now, set yourself a goal of 5,000 steps. Nice and simple. 1,000 steps will basically take you no longer than 10 minutes worth of walking. So the difference between where you're at, 4,000 steps, and your goal of 5,000 steps is a 10-minute walk each day. When and where is that happening? Plan it and treat it like an appointment. Because if you rely on remembering or rely on finding the right time, you are not going to be consistent with it. Plan it, make it obvious, and make it easy. 1,000 steps extra. Establish that habit over 2 weeks and then increase it again. Before you know it, 2 months later, you're hitting 10,000 steps consistently. If you've got any questions about any of the things we've spoken about today, of course, comment down below. If you know anyone else who would find this video helpful, of course, share it. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so and hit the like button below. I'll speak to you all very, very soon.